Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about some products, some developments in the crypto space that are extremely exciting. Now, this is going to be concerning what most of my following knows about, and this is around Fetch.ai. Some pretty exciting stuff. The new wallet launch has got some exciting features. Mobix, which is an application chain on the Fetch.ai blockchain, is going to showcase an actual real-world use case product. Guys, this is amazing. With in front of so many eyes, so many big companies are going to be on this. And the other thing is, of course, Fetch.ai partnered with Ocean Protocol. So guys, if you want the meats and the details, more on this, stay tuned for the whole video. So guys, I'm going to do it this style. I'm going to kind of showcase what I'm looking at because this information it has a little bit of detail, but it's very exciting. I want to showcase to you what is going on here. Now, the first thing I want to start with is the IAA. The IAA is this. First of all, look at the partners. It's a mobility event that's going to happen in September. So essentially, IAA Mobility 2023. Now, this is going to look at sustainable mobility, all kinds of innovation in the mobility sectors, in the mobility sector, and there's going to be so many huge companies. For example, look at the people that are going to be there: Mercedes, BMW, Samsung, Amazon Web Service. There's Meta. There's so many big names out there, Porsche, that are going to be essentially looking at some of these developments that are happening. So we're looking at a cryptocurrency ecosystem because there was the Gaia X formed, I think, in Germany or somewhere in Europe. Now they have a consortium of something called the Move ID. Now all these are working with some of the known names as regards AI and actually creating real world use cases in the digital currency space, like Ocean Protocol, like Fetch.ai. Now these guys, first of all, they are amazing in a way that they are operating as an application chain on the Cosmos side. For example, those that might not know is that you have these sovereign chains on, unlike Ethereum, which is a bit linear, I say that a lot. In Cosmos, you have a web of different chains that serve completely different services, and they do not have to be reliant on the operation of some other ecosystem, or maybe it's a slowdown due to gas fees, it's a slowdown due to some kind of attack. You have your own applications that are native to that chain. Now, Fetch.ai is one of those chains that's a native, that's leveraging Tendermint and all these other consensus algorithms on the Cosmos side of things. And you have a chain called Mobix that has been built on top, or that's leveraging the security. As those that know, there is mesh security, which is sort of like a big thing in the Cosmos side. So Mobix is leveraging security, the validator set. So people that are running validators for Fetch, they're contributing to the security of Mobix, and it's running as an application chain on Fetch. Now, what is really cool about this? Fetch.ai is focusing more on AI and finding ways of actually maintaining privacy while being able to adopt all these AI training models and algorithms. They're trying to evolve to that through these things they're called autonomous economic agents, or micro agents as they're known right now. And we're going to talk about how Mobix is actually using this and how their partnership with Ocean Protocol is leveraging this. But not to get ahead of myself, so essentially Mobix is built on top of Fetch.ai to leverage all those developments that are happening in AI and data and privacy and sovereignty to build this application. They already have an application which is more in mobility. So, e-scooters, all kinds of electronic sort of devices or vehicles that don't use the conventional internal combustion engines. They've already bootstrapped that right now. You can download that app and you can use it, and there's an incentive model. The more you ride, your miles are calculated and you get rewards. Now, they've already built that on top of Fetch.ai, but they also have their own token, which they use as a reward. So that doesn't interfere with the development of Fetch.ai in terms of their token and inflation and, issuance and so on. So they have their own sovereign blockchain, which operates at an optimum speed, while they're able to bootstrap some of these things. So long story short, these guys have actually built a use case. As you can see, some of the pictures that must be rolling over your screen, they actually have hardware And within this hardware, they've implemented some of the technologies they've been looking at, like self-sovereign identities and so on. So Move ID, one of the consortiums that Mobix is working under, is an identity-focused project within the Gaia X consortium. So the Future Mobility family. It unveils the Mobix app, which is going to integrate parking and basically the integration of all this stuff that we've been talking about. It's a live demonstrator of at the IAA Mobility 2023. Mobix allows for peer-to-peer parking and electric vehicle charging, and IAA Mobility visitors can experience a first glimpse of its vision of a decentralized mobility service. Now, guys, what's exciting about this is that we're seeing an actual demonstration of a blockchain, a service that's built around blockchain technology that can be used in real life. And they're going to use a Tesla, Jaguar, so electric versions of course, Teslas are electric, and an electric Jaguar to demonstrate some of these things. And what's very interesting is that you can see, of course, we know that Bosch Global is a partner of Fetch.ai, so it's going to actively be involved in this, and you can see the different conversations between some of the representatives from Bosch Global with some of these companies. Bosch Global, Datarella, which is like the mother company of Mobix, Denso, ITK Engineering, Fetch.ai, Peak Network, Ocean Protocol 51 Nodes, HTW, SSR. All these companies are basically part of what is going on, and they're part of the building process of this. So it's quite exciting because it's not just one company working alone, but it's a company networking and leveraging the different advantages that other parties bring to the table to actually see that they can build out something that is needed, something that can work, keeping our fingers crossed, something that can work actually, because they have the network, they're building something, they're going to demonstrate what is going on. So essentially it's a parking, if it's installed in your vehicle or in a parking place, or in if you have your own charging station company, you should be able to deploy some of these things whilst maintaining privacy. That's where the self-sovereignty comes in. That's where the identity comes in, because you have a charging station each issued a unique identity that the car communicates with, or that the vehicle communicates with for a parking spot. And then when it's leaving that parking spot, it still communicates with that unique identity to leave that parking spot. So privacy is maintained, and also transaction is automated by their native token, which is the Mobix token. So you're seeing these blockchain dynamics really leveraged properly in a seamless manner, because of course Cosmos also brings speed and efficiency and low gas fees. So it's pretty practical. So I mean, that's pretty exciting, guys. And the Ocean Protocol, just to move on to the next thing, Ocean Protocol is one of the most dominant. There's like three big names: is Singularity Net, Ocean Protocol, Fetch.ai. Those are some of the biggest names right now trying to build AI and blockchain technology to see how they can incorporate that. I've talked about Ocean Protocol in the past, and I've showed their marketplace. What they essentially do is that they want to find a way of democratizing data. You can tokenize your data models. Actually, if you quickly go to their website, it also brings to light what they're trying to do. For example, they have an ecosystem. You can learn how you can do things like data farming. Those that have used decentralized exchanges, you can farm or farm for liquidity. We can also do data farming, because this data is tokenized. We're sort of moving into a tokenized future, and and since it's becoming more relevant or more eminent that data is going to be extremely important, this is a company trying to find ways of actually tokenizing data by creating an easy to use interface and making the right partnerships. So you can scour through their website, buy and sell private data while preserving privacy. And they actually have a marketplace where you can actually trade your data models or different data that you think a user might want, so they can purchase it from you using their token, or I think they've also integrated some other tokens. So it's quite interesting. Now, these guys are all about data, and they're all about data, and they make the right partnerships for that purpose. So essentially, this page right here that you see on the website that says compute to data, buy and sell private data while preserving privacy, you can read through to get some information. Now, what you have to note here is the compute to data, and it resolves the trade-off between the benefits of using private data and the risks of exposing it. It lets the data stay on premise, yet allows third parties to run specific compute jobs on it to get useful compute results like averaging or building an AI model. Now, this falls right into the ballpark of what Fetch.ai is trying to create, but you can't create everything on your own. So what these guys are doing, Fetch.ai has been trying to create other platforms like collective learning, where a user can train different data models and share them, and the consumer in such a way that the consumer can actually vote and say, hey, this model actually works, and the model, the best model that goes through that voting process is the one that's leveraged by everyone, but all this while maintaining service. Now, going back to the partnership of Ocean Protocol and Fetch.ai, as you can see, they're telling us here that meet Ocean's latest tech integration with Fetch.ai, Ocean Connection Agent. Those are no Fetch.ai, it's all about agents and micro agents and autonomous agents and so on. So Fetch's autonomous economic agents and Ocean's decentralized compute to data technology combine to automate on-chain compute jobs and preserving data privacy. And of course, a picture tells 1,000 words. So you can see there is a Fetch agent here, which by its nature preserves, has privacy, has security. It's sort of like a smart contract. Think of these agents as smart contracts embedded in well, these packets of data or these modules of data that are basically known as agents. So they can perform transactions, they can sign transactions. You need to have a private key that represents your ownership of a particular agent. So when it communicates with another agent, it's a pseudonymous nature, privacy is maintained, but also since these agents have access to addresses, to the public addresses of the cryptocurrencies, it means they can actually trade cryptocurrencies. So you have an agent on one side that sort of initiates a trade, whilst you have the Ocean technology lying, right in the middle of that and the Ocean ecosystem. So for example, you have create data, NFTs, and data tokens. As actually Ocean Protocol is also, getting into that kind of thing, tokenizing NFTs, and because NFTs have become so big, they can be an embodiment of so many concepts, even AI data and so on. So it's right in their ballgame. So publish data assets on Ocean ecosystem, add pricing data schema, consume data, and so on. The agent can be the intermediator to make sure this communication is private. And on the other side, if an agent is representing all these concepts right here, it can transfer those concepts to the Ocean ecosystem, maybe their data marketplace, to ensure that this peer-to-peer trade of this data is actually private. So these are some of the significant partnerships that are happening in the crypto space, and we're yet to see how they actually evolve, but it's pretty amazing. And I think by the time you watch this video, it would have passed, but they're going to have a discussion on Twitter between Fetch.ai and Ocean Protocol that's going to further elucidate about this partnership and how it's going to work. And after that, I will actually give some updates on it. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is this really exciting news. And now, as you know, the Fetch.ai token actually exists on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and the Cosmos chain. So in there, they've embedded a bridge. A bridge is essentially, if you want to use a bridge, is if you want to convert one token from one blockchain to another, and you don't want to use a decentralized exchange, you don't want to use a centralized exchange, you don't want to communicate with someone, a peer-to-peer person, just want to convert your tokens. A bridge helps you to do that. So you have 5 Fetch tokens on the Ethereum network, you can move them over the bridge, and on the other side, the 5 Fetch tokens on the Cosmos blockchain if you want to leverage DeFi on Cosmos and all other things. And if you want to do it, you can do it vice versa. So they've also implemented within the Fetch wallet itself, you can view the Ethereum chain. You can view your Ethereum balance, you can connect it there, or your Binance Smart Chain, which means to at least perform those simple services. You don't have to go back to your MetaMask and so on, but you can do that in the Fetch wallet, which moves towards the wallet of all things, and it also moves towards further into that idea of interoperability. So I think this is an amazing update. On a separate day, I'll probably give more details about these 3 separate things that I've talked about today, especially after the IAA event. I have to talk about some of the updates, the Fetch protocol, conversation, that's because Ocean protocol and Fetch, by the time you watch this, they would have had a Twitter session where they're discussing more about the technology. I'm going to give updates on what their discussions were like. And also, finally, this wallet, of course, there has to be some feedback, but I think it's an amazing thing. I really did not expect it, and kudos to the Fetch team for actually integrating this. So guys, I hope you learned something in this video. I urge you to go do a little bit more, more digging. And if you want more information on what has happened here today, if you think there's something that I missed out, comment in the comment sections, and I'll elaborate more on it in the next video. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.